Thanks so much, Leaf. Space Station versus EnVy, a title match, a classic match here. Achieves, how excited are you?
I'm really excited. I think it's going to be awesome. Like they said, it's been a grand final in the past. It's got all the makings of one right now, and I think it's fair to say that at the moment, Space Station may hold the edge, but you can never count out EnVy in any scenario. They have been too good for too long.
The moment you assume Turbopulsa is losing, you have already lost. So we will see how things go here. A best of 7, EnVy in the blue, Space Station in the orange. And the winner plays NRG in the grand finals. Let's go to the outside. Atomic will get it through 2, and then the back line clears. Mist now. Through 1, Reddles counters him, and Mist will get a demolition. Turbopulsa to pick up this ball and take it to the sky. He's got his teammate Atomic moving up in the midfield, and now looking for the shot himself onto the backboard. Reddles will make the save in the copper corner. Now Turbo trying to challenge on the side. See if he can put pressure on this SSG back line.
A lot of good parry thrust action from both teams at the moment. Currently EnVy the ones in charge of moving pace of play, but finally Space Station with that challenge. Get the opportunity to play a little offense. It doesn't last too long though.
Here's Mist. Onto the backboard. Sipicle's up for this one, and we'll extend it back to midfield. Turbopulsa has the response onto the backboard. Nobody's home for Space Station, but no one's home for EnVy in the midfield either. So it won't matter. And now, see Mist out of the backfield and get past one. Sipicle to dead center. Turbopulsa airballs for this one, but actually manages to get back to it on the side and clear to the edge. Now Atomic will block another challenge. Turbo over another player. A lot of players not making contact right now. Mist though making enough of a stop despite Sipicle just falling all over him.
Yeah, Mist also got pulled up on the initial approach there, expecting the double tap. So that recovery was impressive from him. The ability to get back to that one, like you said, with the pressure coming down as Turbo's unable to squeeze one in between the wall, the inside of the post. Well played, Mist on defense.
Now Reddles with Arsenal in tow. Mist will take it to the outside, and Turbopulsa is going to challenge him as well. There'll be 2 players up, and Turbopulsa has been having trouble aerialing in this game. Like, he gets airborne and then goes, wait, this is not where I'm supposed to be, and then like adjusts. As Reddles and Arsenal try to put pressure in the EnVy net. We're approaching halftime, neither team on the board.
Dangerous position here. Gotta watch that clear for Turbo. Thankfully, Reddles was way back grabbing boost.
Turbo's going to think about this one, moves up for it, fakes out Arsenal, and it has to stay on the ground as Reddles is right behind Arsenal on the challenge. Atomic with an excellent read in the midfield, and Mist will try to come up on this one. He gets underneath him. Sipicle clears to the outside. Atomic bumped. It's up to Turbopulsa on this back line, and he'll win the challenge in midfield.
Wouldn't be surprised to see 0-0 overtime at this point.
Oh!
And as I say that, Mist catches the pass out into the middle from Atomic.
Atomic has full control here in the corner despite 2 defenders. What a dunk, and then Mist dropping it nice and softly onto the ground. They'll make the X above him, X marking the spot, and he'll shoot it in for goal number 1.
They had that one covered too. I mean, that only goes in because Mist hit that down a little bit more than they were expecting. If he hits that with even just a little more power, they're going to be in time for it, but a little bit slower, died off a little bit, went right under him.
Which is beautiful decision making in a situation where the defenders essentially have to dive, they can't react.
Yeah.
Playing it slow means that the dives will be out of the way by the time the ball's crossing the goal line. I like to see it there. As Reddles through another one, and he'll grab a boost here, or Atomic rather. We'll grab boost out of the corner. Mist through another player, Sipicle. To the outside, Atomic. Through one, and now onto the goal line. Reddles to the side, Turbopulsa to challenge him. He picks up the boost. 1:38 left to go, and EnVy's got a lot of pressure here in the corner, even if there's not any shots materializing out of it.
Oh my gosh, he's a monster.
Dunk Atomic for the tie game.
He's been a beast all weekend. Look at him get aggressive, steal the boost, and then how do you even just... I can understand what leads him to try and make that. He's obviously just trying to go for the block, but it's just the effectiveness with which he had that challenge absolutely dominated.
Beautiful, beautiful plays. And creative stuff from, what would you expect? I expect nothing less from Reddles. Is Arsenal now in the corner? Atomic gets the ball loose in the side, and Mist now puts it into the box. Typical will clear it down, and Turbopulsa is a little bit far upfield. He'll stall the play out and give his teammates time to rotate around. Atomic off the backboard, uncontested, but Mist can't quite reach back to the ball in time. Turbo ping-pongs this one off of Mist, and it goes back to their half. He'll have to clear it to Atomic at the far corner.
Ooh, Atomic, smart touch actually to himself with a little help from Turbo. EnVy's got something here. Unfortunately, that challenge went so high into the corner. And look at Atomic just rip it off that challenge from the wall. Oh, man.
Okay, cool. Arsenal here. How does this go? He just puts it on the wall, and Atomic just finds a beautiful touch to barely sneak out of the crossbar. I'm not even sure I blame Reynolds for not like being, whoop, gotta block this one. That is so close to being a crossbar out.
Yeah, I think I'd have to look at it again, but Reynolds got caught out on the front edge of the net. I think he might have been on the back wall for some reason, so he couldn't even jump at it even if he wanted to.
Well, Reynolds, they're not going to be properly positioned in Mist. And company have another lead. Turbo's going to look on this one. Reynolds appropriately goes for second touch, puts some space between him and the ball. We'll take it away, and now Sypical with Arsenal in front looking to pave the way. Mist will block, and then a second touch from Atomic retreating back really slows things down for Space Station. They're having to commit a lot of boost just to gain midfield control. Now in front of the box, they've got onto the backboard, and a shot from Reynolds goes wide. He'll look to push it into the box again. Atomic's there. Arsenal back to Reynolds. Back to Sypical, and Atomic had enough time to ground. He had no boost, but still makes the save. Oh dear, no. Big misses from everybody.
Oh boy.
The mind games keep the ball alive, but no. Turbo puts it into the ground. EnVy take game number 1.
Really liked the looks from Space Station there at the end of that one. Even if it didn't come to be a successful drive, they had a lot of really good ideas, and you can see the poise from all of them. They were not panicking with 0 seconds. They were trying to stay out of each other's way. Really just came down to EnVy making the blocks when they had to. Fair enough. You can have this one.
Yeah, I was actually very amazed that Atomic made that last save there. He had dove earlier, was tangled up with his teammates, managed to kind of keep his space on the ground, and then read, where's this last shot coming from? He's passing the Sypical. That shot's probably here. Let's double jump and get the save. Very clean stuff there from EnVy, as they're able to narrowly take the victory in game number 1. We'll see how Space Station adjust in game 2.
Yeah, I just wanted to see that last goal right there. Reynolds, indeed, he started driving out of net, was thinking I could support him in the corner, and then just got caught on that back wall. Tough stuff for Space Station to give one up right at the end, but what can you do? Trying to stay aggressive, stick to their game plan. Sometimes it goes just wrong enough.
The game of pixels. Just a slight adjustment there. Left the opening, and EnVy was able to take the lead. Now into game 2, EnVy. Let's see if they can capitalize on this, make it 2 wins in a row. They'll take a shot from midfield. Atomic looks up to redirect, but Reynolds gets a block, and Turbo's down the corner as a threat. Challenge goes neutral, and Reynolds will move up to take control of the ball, and Mist will just stall things out, plays it back behind Arsenal. Turbo with a quick cut there in the midfield. And actually might work out for him here as Sypical is having trouble getting this ball anywhere other than the corner. Ooh, Atomic leaves this for Turbo, who is also out of boost, so the ball will slow down for a moment.
Yeah, I think Reynolds thought EnVy's transition was going to happen a little sooner. He didn't look very comfortable with getting aggressive and trying to force that challenge, and thankfully Sypical was able to delay it on the way out. And they had their time to go get some boost now and retry their get the hands on the ball approach.
Atomic closing in on midfield. Turbo pulls up against 2, wins the challenge. It's going to take a bad bounce, but Arsenal has it red, so he's able to block it. Atomic reads Arsenal's read and now puts it onto the backboard in front of the box. Arsenal clears it away, and Mist will just try to tag team along with this one, see if he can buy Turbo some time. There's a flick out of Arsenal. Turbo's up for it off the backboard. Mist, well done to force the flick.
When they caught him on transition here, but look at Sypical so quick on his recovery. And Mist, unfortunately, not able to get that ball above the net on the backboard, only into the corner. And Arsenal on transition, 1 step too slow to beat Turbo Pulsa back.
And Mist now into the midfield for Turbo, but Sypical, airborne very early. Gets the stop. Sypical and Arsenal both in this corner, and they'll win that clear. Turbo's got a lot of space, drops this one to Reynolds Hood. And he'll find Arsenal now in the transition. Mist just completely counters the momentum of the ball, though, and sends it to his corner. Atomic now chasing down his own clear, wins another challenge. Arsenal and Reynolds in this corner. They're going to have to coordinate who's going first, and it's Reynolds who takes the ball. Now to Sypical, back to Reynolds possibly. No, Mist will get the save on the goal line, and it's out to Atomic. Reynolds has to fall back and defend. Here comes Atomic over the top of Arsenal, off the backboard, and it should be Mist. The Turbo on the infield pass. It's just high.
Now you're really starting to see pace of play pick up because both teams going for the tried and true method of hit the ball hard as hard as you can towards the net, force him to make the save, and that's meaning not a lot of time for the ball to slow down.
Oh, Atomic with a great pass. Reynolds got a bumper onto it, but it wasn't enough. EnVy's on top.
Always going to be a difficult save here. Reynolds knows he's outpaced. He's running back, and try as he might, too much muscle from Atomic behind that one.
What a play, too, to recognize that clear could function as a pass, get airborne quickly, and Atomic had the entire world to work with on that shot. Reynolds' best effort's not enough. Now through the air, Reynolds looking to redeem on the double tap, drops it in front. Turbo Pulse is going to stay airborne for this one, and get the block.
Smart.
Follow up, though, is too slow. Mist will be able to get in front of Arsenal. Atomic gets in front of Reynolds. Somehow they dodge that goal.
Mist bumped Sipical. Sipical was coming to just dunk that in. He would have been free and clear, but somehow Mist was able to make contact and just stall all of that momentum. That was wild.
Brilliant, brilliant defensive stand from EnVy. Defending the 1-goal lead. As there's 2 minutes left to go here, Atomic tries Typical now with ball. He's got Mist in front of him, and he'll stall him out again. And Mist with another challenge. Mist in the challenge department right now is unstoppable. Turbo Pulsa going to be airborne as Typical and Reynolds now press down on Atomic and Mist. Look at it through two and to the far side. What a redirect tie game.
Well done, Sipical. Great control here, getting command in the midfield and keeping Atomic out of the play. But how about Reynolds able to just stall that one out, not lose control of it with the challenge with the opposition, and Sipical, way to keep your head going in the play. Instant recovery to chip it to the right side.
Oh, the defense from EnVy still so strong. Mist, even after all of that misdirection, is right in front of the shot. It took the final touch from Sipical was absolutely necessary. Mist still nearly got back to it, so EnVy looking very hot right now, forcing wonderful play out of Spacestation just to tie the game. Mist is here, Turbo. Oh, this is going to bounce over him. He's able to get a bumper onto it to clear it away and give Atomic a little bit of time. Arsenal now to challenge. Doesn't want to go to Turbo's corner. Final minute, tied up. Turbo through the sky, and Sipical and Reynolds going to try and pressure this one. They get Mist in the air, and it's Atomic now with the clear.
Really see both teams, if they got that ball deep in their own half and they think they have an extra second, they really want to try and bring that ball down into a dribble, because they realize that getting constantly into these fight for possession up in the air with the ball going quick can go south very quickly. As this one winds down, control is far more valuable. Pass to Mist. Turbo not able to finish the job. Sipical should have an easy clear. Final 30 seconds. Does someone make a play?
They're trying. Reynolds had a massive air ball earlier, and he gave the big opening that resulted in the ball bouncing off the post here. There's a nice long one. Typical will have it in time, but Atomic's going to try and take that opening and pressure it. Now Mist going to hold on to the ball. He's got half a tank of boost to work with. Can he get a flip reset? Going to get challenged out before he got full control. Atomic now trying to back pass to Turbo. Overtime looking likely here as the ball is airborne in the back third, though, and it will drop down. Overtime in game 2.
Atomic played that very well. He drew Arsenal up the wall, and as soon as Arsenal pulled off, they knew he could just let that one go and force an OT.
Lofted there. Mist gets demolished after the loft, and Arsenal will try to slow this one down. He dodges the demolition himself. He's out of boost, but they won't be able to advance the play anymore as Atomic and Mist back pass. Turbo Pulse is up for this one. Stalls it out. He's giving it to Mist, but Arsenal is there quickly. Well read on the play. Atomic keeps the ball in the orange, but Space Station have had an answer every time.
I think it was that pass looking for Turbo, but they just didn't realize Turbo didn't have the boost to actually fight for the ball, so they finally have to give up a little bit of ground here.
Turbo. Soft touch went to Reynolds. Now Atomic actually going to win the race to this one on the backboard. Can he possibly get back to it? No. It'll be Arsenal to the outside with Reynolds in tow to extend the play across the midfield. Now Turbo trying to stall things out as his teammates rotate behind him. Mist did an excellent job as well, and now it's Atomic out of goal. No, Mist to take the ball from him. Atomic will stay grounded and look for boost. Out of the empty corner.
Ooh, Reynolds.
Typical. Reynolds was looking for the bumps there, but nothing to show for it.
I love the idea, though. I mean, Reynolds gets that first bump, allows Sipical to come through and actually be on time for that challenge despite being deep in the play. And Space Station very dangerous in those corners when they get people with and in front of the ball. Pass for Reynolds to himself, taken away.
And Mist's clear went to where Turbo Pulsa was, a double demolition in that corner. We'll reset things.
As again.
Arsenal's trying once more. Reddles this time to the corner himself. He's got 2 players here from Space Station. Typical lurking in the midfield. As Arsenal tries to move up.
Let Arsenal go for that challenge again. I mean, Space Station, that's the bread and butter right there. Just get that ball jammed in the corner. They'll go for it and try and throw you off.
Typical. Through another one. Here's Mist off the wall. Over to Turbo. As he tried to drop it back to Mist. I think that was the idea, but too much muscle on it. Now off the corner, Atomic's looking at it, seeing Typical and respecting his control. He'll slow down the play and give Turbo and Mist time to set up on the back line. The stall play from EnVy has been strong. Their back line is rarely being prepared, but Arsenal somehow, I fully expected Atomic to block this, but no, he's got other ideas.
Well, he would have, but he was just in such an awkward position. He was thinking they were going to get the clear moving forward, so he starts pushing, but then that ball gets popped right back over his teammates' heads off the wall. And despite having plenty of boost in the tank, he just doesn't have a very good line to that ball off the backboard, so he kind of has to jump quickly at it, and if the takeoff wasn't perfect, he wasn't going to get the proper hit, so he just kind of took his best guess, and while he was close, wasn't good enough.
Close game here, though. Back and forth. Loved EnVy's defense, and I still, the thing I was saying right before that goal goes in, EnVy doesn't, I'm trying to remember a situation where EnVy was caught in a rough defensive situation, that generally their midfield is doing an excellent job buying them time so that the back 2 players can have themselves sorted out and their rotations are clean. EnVy playing very strong defense, but so is Space Station. Both sides have done an excellent job so far in this series.
Yeah, I think both teams defensively, like that position right there in that very last goal is probably the most compromised you've seen EnVy. And even still, Atomic had at least a chance at it, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it was difficult, but it's not like they were like, oh gosh, what do we do? Please save us. Like, that's never been the case for either team so far on defense.
Well, we'll see how things adjust. Moving into game 3, both teams will win a piece. Best of 7, though, gotta go the distance to 4 wins to challenge NRG in the finals. Typical picking up the pass from Arsenal. That's Mist now in the corner. 2 players pushing on him. Turbo pulls over the top of one. Missed to stretch for this one. Gets a block. Gets a bump onto Arsenal and frees up the ball for Turbo. But Turbo not able to challenge on the wall.
Yep, good fake. I think actually a slight miscommunication there from Space Station. I think Sipical was hoping Arsenal would come and get it. Flip reset from Mist. Going to be saved away by Sipical. And Space Station with that miscue from earlier, trying to find a way out of their own half.
They're still trapped here from that one mistake, and this one going to drop dangerous. Turbo pulls is lurking in front of it, but actually doesn't flip onto it. I kind of expected him to have that.
Yeah, he was trying to hit it with that back corner, that dominus, and the spacing wasn't quite right.
Ooh. Missed weaving between players, or more them dodging his demolitions as he's looking for the entire Space Station backline. Doesn't find anybody. Here's Atomic. The outside. Picks up the corner boost as well, and EnVy's had a lot of pressure this game. Here's Atomic against Arsenal. Drops into the corner for Turbo. Soft touches the ball, very low velocity right now. But EnVy's happy to work with it that way. Wrap it around the corner. Reynolds gets a stop, and Atomic can't do anything about it. Turbo in midfield. Right back into the corner again. The ball's been here for 30 seconds or so, and Mist finally will make it work. They just took a second more to get it through the corner.
They caught him. Like, Sipical isn't in a particularly poor position here. It's that skip away from the wall that freezes him at the middle of the net. And at that point, he's just hoping Mist doesn't shoot it to a place he can't reach.
EnVy have the lead again. They've done a good job. I believe they have led every game. We've gotten the opening goal so far today. Game 2, though, they weren't able to close it out in regulation the way they were for game 1 and lost it in overtime. Now Mist looking to see if he can make it a 2-goal game. Reynolds was clear.
He went all the way up the back of the net with pace for that one.
He's angry. Give me this ball. Why is it in my half? This is not where I want it to be. Here's Reynolds taking a shot on Mist. Atomic very loose as well. It's going to be Turbo Pulsa here, but Mist has so much time. I thought he would have less space, and now the ball is in the orange half. Turbo Pulse on the wall. Yeah, the back line, double commit out of Space Station again. Atomic to try and wrap this one around, give it down to Mist, but Mist is not there. He's all the way back. And they'll pick it up, give the infield pass to Turbo, reaches for it, blocked in behind a second player as well. It's up to Reynolds on the back line.
Yeah, here's the timing. That's what Reynolds is always good with. He knew he was going to be able to at least force a challenge right there, and actually it works out perfectly. It's going to be well wide. Turbo realizes that and lets it go.
Atomic over one. Turbo pulls and missed both in enemy territory, trying to pressure this advantage. They got the defender so loose. Can he get the pass to Turbo? No, he takes it to the backboard. It's going to take too many touches from Mist, and Space Station will get back in time, but they double commit again. Turbo pulls it down to Atomic, and it's a wide open net. 2-0 EnVy.
And they tried. Space Station Gaming. Here's really the first time they couldn't do anything. It was all of them diving in that one pass out into the middle that really does them in. It was just that challenge on the wall that nobody really felt good at one of their teammates taking, thinking, I've got a better touch, and that's all it takes.
Well, Space Station now trailing by 2 for the first time. It has been an extremely low-scoring game. 3 goals every game so far, 2-1 affair. One of those going to overtime. Space Station will have to make it at least a 5-goal game if they want to win. One Reddles is here, and a demolition might help, but Turbo pulls up for it and Mist tag teams him on. You could call it a double commit, but more just like a very tight pass. Reddles off the backboard, the pass down to Arsenal in front of the box, and he shoots to the other side. That's a great goal from Space Station.
You knew this one was going to be good when you saw Mist pop it up there, and Reddles knocked it down. Oh, the only reason Mist doesn't get it is because he wasn't actually on the wall. I was like, why was his dismount from that backboard so weird? It's because his wheels weren't connected to it.
He had a double commits, but get double commits sometimes. And Space Station is able to take advantage of another one and tie it up immediately on the kickoff.
Look at this one. It's not a bad play from EnVy, to be honest. Mist gets a good challenge. It's just perfect from both Arsenal and Reddles. Comes out flat to Reddles, and Reddles nailed that back post. That's the only place that ball is going in.
Beautiful, beautiful and fast. Space Station having a wonderful game on what seemed to be a game. In this series, a 2-goal lead seemed enough. But no, they have brought it back, and now EnVy going to need to find a way to the back line again as the shots come through. They got to defend their own line. Arsenal now up against 2 with the pass into Reddles, but Reddles pins it to the corner instead of taking a shot, so missed an Atomic. Will look to handle it there, and now they get out 2, but Turbo Pulsa always where he needs to be. Finds a clear. So now passing across to Atomic. He's very deep in enemy territory, and this back pass is, oh dear, that is over so many players. Atomic got way more on that than he expected.
I think he was just going for the boost steal. The timing just happened to where it pinged off his car perfectly wrong.
There's a ball here. There's supposed to be boost in this corner. Atomic pass 1, 42 seconds left. Missed to Atomic in the corner, and then, just barely wide of the goal. Turbo Pulsa falling back as the pressure from Space Station mounts. He doesn't make contact, but it's enough to put Reddles' touch wide of the goal. And now Mist versus Arsenal. Now Atomic. 30 seconds left. Tie game. We had an overtime in game 2. Can we see another one here in game 3?
Couple of tight challenges here for Space on their half, but always able to find their way out. EnVy start winning some of those challenges. Maybe looking good for overtime, but as of now, I don't think anyone's really going to try and take a big risk here.
Typical up. Chases this. Missed. We'll get a block as well, and overtime looking likely. One last shot from Turbo. He gets it onto the backboard. Reddles is not in position. Here comes Mist. Keep it alive. Atomic's up for it as well. And drop it. And they had 3 touches uncontested. What's going on, EnVy? We'll go to overtime.
Frustration. That was it. And Atomic knows it, but it's all right. They're not cowed. They get the chance back on overtime. And yes, he crushes Reddles on the second chance.
Oh, he wanted to BM here. What a touch. Well placed. Oh my goodness. EnVy get the win in game 3.
Tough stuff there for Space Station. But to be fair, Space Station got a nice kickoff goal. It's only fair EnVy gets one back. Fair enough. And what a shot from Atomic. It's vindication for missing the pretty much wide open net at the end of regulation.
It's like we couldn't win.
That ball even bounced at 0 seconds. I was like, oh, we get one more look at it. All right.
Me too.
They almost scored.
That was crazy, man. It was just Atomic being like, I could score it here on the buzzer beater, but there's no one in net. They won't be. They'll be like, oh man, a little bit. But if I absolutely bamboozle and break their axles in the overtime, that'll be better.
The real demoralization right there.
Exactly. Exactly. The tactical miss at 0 seconds.
Chance to move close to the grand finals. Disrespect.
Yeah, or why not both? In this situation as EnVy.
He does get both in this situation.
Wow, but still, that pass from Reddles, insane. Arsenal puts that one down, and then Atomic with all of the mustard to the far side there. EnVy. What a series. You know, I mean, the desk made it sound like, hey, this is a one-sided thing. Last time we saw these teams play, SSG was great, and they all predict SSG on that one. And chat, I believe, also pretty solidly going in SSG's favors. EnVy, just trying to remind you, hey, by the way, we are one of the best teams in this region.
For very good reason. Like we've said, the defense from them has been on point, especially considering that Spacestation has made pretty much every team look like absolute Swiss cheese for the duration of this tournament. The fact that EnVy's keeping it as tight as they are is a testament to how solid they are looking on defense at the moment. Really not getting demoed, which has been the big upside in a lot of Space Station games, and contending pretty much even if they can't save every shot, they're forcing Space Station to be pretty much perfect with their execution and their shot accuracy to put balls into the back of the net, which, as far as I'm concerned, if you're forcing the offense to make perfect plays to beat you, you're doing just fine.
You're doing an excellent job. You're doing it. It's honestly been a very exciting series to watch. It's been a polished series from beginning to end. We're not seeing many mistakes at all on the defense. Very few whiffs. And there you know, a few. The double commits we have seen have not been egregious. They have been almost necessary. The ball is in a dangerous spot. There's not time to communicate. Obviously,
very minimal
downside. Will communicate that, but yes, yeah, it's been pretty crazy. So we'll see. But folks, we are going to go to a quick break. When we come back, we'll have the continuation of the semifinal. All right, we are back. We took a pause to investigate a lag spike that happened during that overtime to make sure if anything needed to be changed on that. But the player that suffered from the lag spike wasn't in a position to make a play on the ball, so the goal will stand. Game 3 will go as it was. We are still at 2-1 in favor of EnVy going into Game 4, Jeeves.
Fair play, well played as well. Atomic, you executed a very beautiful shot to the back post. Let's move on with our day.
It was beautiful. Let's move on. We are now into Game 4 and excited to be here. So, these teams, again, playing in the semifinals and looking for a chance to play against NRG in the grand finals after this. Right now, EnVy with a 1-game lead and a win here in Game 3 would put them on match point. A nice pass across to Atomic, who's going to drop it in. Well placed. Atomic continues his scoring streak.
Oh, and Atomic, he definitely shook Sipical off the scent. I think Atomic was so focused on that ball crossing back the other way towards Arsenal, and that it just went back across the pitch over his shoulder so quickly. He had no time to react to that shot from Atomic.
EnVy will have a lead now in Game 4, excuse me. Now it missed. With Turbo Pulse pressuring in behind him. He'll be looking for Atomic, but Sipical in the corner, along with Arsenal, have other ideas of demolition. Atomic's got an open net in front of him. Players bumping into each other. Turbo Pulse tries to find the back post, but Arsenal will reach it with his bumper. And Space Station will hold on the back line.
Good start here for EnVy, controlling a lot of the ball, driving pace of play. See if that continues.
There's Reynolds with Sipical to the corner. Missed now. Back down and just trying to dribble it out of his half, but Arsenal wins another challenge, and Atomic flips past the ball. That'll stall out EnVy for a moment.
Or actually let Turbo have a look at it, and got to give credit to Reynolds there, even being able to break up that approach, as Arsenal also slowing the pace down, trying to force possession back for Space Station Gaming.
I think he was waiting for a player to move in and challenge him so he could get a only 2 players in the backfield situation. And he did get 1 player to move up on him. The backfield of EnVy was able to handle it just fine. 3:30 left on the clock. It's missed. Back flips it to Atomic in the corner. Turbo wants to turn on this, but continues back to his own half. Now Atomic moving out. Atomic in front of the box here, and Sipical will try to put it onto the backboard. Arsenal looks at it, but missed already there. EnVy's positioning just consistently stalling out Space Station here.
And Arsenal doing an excellent job checking missed on that rotation out, and he has a chance to finish it. He goes wide. Arsenal definitely rushed it, knowing that he heard a car behind him coming for the demo, and he just tipped it off the mark.
Close one there. Beautiful cut in the midfield from Space Station, but it will not turn into a goal. Turbo Pulse misses. Here's Sipical up against Atomic. He'll slow it down and keep the ball at midfield. Well countered.
Arsenal with no boost there, forced to punt towards the backboard and hope his teammates can cover up in the midfield and hold on to possession.
Atomic into this corner. Turbopulsa coming in behind him, sends this one towards the goal, and Arsenal will get the save on the goal line. Out to Sipical. Turbopulsa blocks him, and now Atomic closing in on this. Reynolds will pop it.
Stretch.
And Arsenal's reaching for it, gets it past him, but it's off the post again. And the counter is not quite, or the follow-up is not quite in time. The clears come through. Now Atomic looking for the outfield pass. He places this between 2-0 EnVy.
Atomic says, Arsenal, you want to see how to hit a redirect with a pass over your shoulder? Let me show you. Comes right to him from Turbo. Only 12 boost in the tank. Beautiful shot. Again, finding that back post.
EnVy lighting it up here in game number 4. This is how game 3 started, with a 2-goal lead. And then bang, bang goals from Spacestation sent us to overtime. They nearly get one here. They still look for it. No, defended. Turbopulsa gets it away. Missed looking for a clear. Gets it at the midfield line, and Arsenal is in his back and won't be able to advance forward. A flick past one. Missed with no boost, just looking for enemy players. Atomic into the box and Sipical with the clear. Turbopulsa will be up to push it to his corner. Now back in front of the box. Reynolds sends it from the goal. Atomic makes the save. Spacestation well positioned in the goal line and in the midfield. But still, EnVy makes the blocks.
That's what we were talking about in our previous couple of games from EnVy, forcing Spacestation to hit perfect shots if they want to score. Here in this one, been off by just a small margin and down by 2 with a minute left. Make it 3? Oh, so close.
Oh, Turbopulsa putting it onto the backboard again. And EnVy in control of the series. The few moments from Spacestation on offense have been well defended. Now onto the backboard again. Spacestation having to clear it out of their own half. Missed off the wall. Caught, trapped, and shot it to the backboard. Just wide of the net. Reynolds will slow this down to try and take control. Only a 2-goal deficit, so a quick goal here in the next 30 seconds gives them a chance to win it in overtime. And there it passed so many. It's off the crossbar. Out again. Missed to the outside. He's going to hold on to this ball by himself and try to give it to Turbo here, and they get it through the midfield line to an open backfield. They'll put the nail in the coffin. 30 seconds left. EnVy running away with game 4.
Yeah, this is just typical trying to muscle one through 2 people in the midfield line, because if they do, Spacestation were going to be in a beautiful position to at least get themselves within 1. I think that risk was absolutely warranted. What can you do, though? The shot's not dropping for them here in this one, and they're going to be on match point.
EnVy taking control of the series. And man, Spacestation just cannot find the accuracy that got them this far in the tournament, and that has seen them beat every team in North America. Here and there, Atomic off the outside with 9 seconds left. Just looking for a morale booster at this point. Arsenal and Sipical going to be airborne, and I feel a Spacestation timeout incoming. We'll see if they choose to take it as Atomic looks for one more. This one will tap wide. Mist will put it into the dirt. Game 4 going over to EnVy, now on match point, 1 away from the finals.
Well played, EnVy. Again, that staunch defense paying dividends, and you gotta wonder if Arsenal missing that open net was kind of that first domino in the falling chain, right? Because they were looking fine even with that long pause, still executing on a lot of great transitions, but as soon as Arsenal missed that open net, they all just started falling over and not quite nailing it.
Yeah, man, and wondering if there's any sort of like tilt from the pause situation, if they're still thinking about that end game and the lag spike being a frustration to them. But the choice to not take a timeout here, to me, says they're feeling fine. That game just got away from them, and they're excited to move on to the next game already. Let's go to game 5. But man, the efficiency on the pass game from EnVy, they're going to have to find a way to shut down these passing lanes.
Just beautiful. It was really a fight for possession in a lot of those instances, but as we said at the start, EnVy was kind of the driver of pace in that game, and the fact that they're able to start getting out in front of those challenges is something we mentioned early on in this series. If they start winning those, good things are going to happen.
Well, we'll see how things go as we get into game number 5 here on to Wasteland. And Team EnVy with all the momentum after the overtime winner in game 3 and then the 3-0 stomping here. Well, it wasn't exactly a stomping, but it was very one-sided in game 4. Game 5 here, we'll see if they're able to close it off or do Spacestation come back.
I would say one-sided in terms of goals that actually win the net. In terms of chances to score, maybe a little more even. And Spacestation, really, it's just if if those start dropping, easily could have been OT.
Space Station now, with their work cut out for them. Atomic onto the backboard and clearing it across. Here's Arsenal. Atomic coming off the ceiling there. It gets countered by Sypical. He's got Reddles behind him as Turbo Pulsa tries to play this off the wall. Reddles now connected with Sypical on the infield pass. It's on the backboard and going to drop dangerously. So many players miss. Reddles wasn't ready for it. Here's Arsenal dropping it to Reddles. They'll play it out. The defenders caught completely flat on the ground, and that's Space Station with the lead.
I mean, Atomic froze when he saw Reddles still committing for that pass, and as soon as Arsenal passed it back to Reddles, oh, Atomic was toast. I mean, he was ready to try and defend a shot from Arsenal. He was never going to be ready to defend the pass and shoot, though.
No, I think he was even trying to find a way to block both, and there just was nothing there for him. Arsenal and Reddles working together and getting on the board after being shut out there in game number 4. Turbo Pulsa gets the dribble to the wall, but demolished afterwards. Soft touch in front. Arsenal's going to try, but Atomic is the back pass to miss. Takes it to the sky, and he's got Turbo Pulsa to work with as well. Goes for the pass across, and Turbo plays it to the corner. He's going to need a second touch, and Arsenal's already there. So he'll leave it for Sypical. And now Reddles trying to move up in the midfield. Ball behind him, though. Missed. Onto the outside. And second touch to keep it high. Turbo Pulsa airborne well before Sypical knew about it. He'll get a block and put it into the back third of Space Station for the first time in a while.
You want that insight into how Turbo's brain works. He already knew that there was going to be a challenge from Space Station in that situation, and he got up early because he knew his teammate was going to be on the losing end of it.
We are approaching, gone through a minute and a half in game 5. And EnVy, who have been doing an excellent job finding the back of Space Station's net. Here with only one shot from Atomic.
Atomic in particular, the guy that was executing a lot of those shots. Here's a pass to Mist, and just off the bar. Reddles might have had a look if it was in, but a beautifully executed play from EnVy. Unfortunately, not able to get past the goal line.
Yeah, the 1-2-1, but crossbar just a little too low. Sypical looking for Arsenal. Turbo Pulsa going to cover him up in the air, keep that one in the front of his box, and Sypical moves in to try and put some pressure on to develop the position for Space Station. But Atomic now off the ceiling, setting it up for Mist. It's wide again. Turbo Pulsa in on this one with an empty backfield. Atomic's going to have to race this one back. Out of boost, he manages to flip his way to Supersonic and clear it away. Here's Sypical placing it upper 90, cleared away. What a play from Mist. Turbo Pulsa with the clear, and then EnVy's holding on to this one-goal game.
Now it's Reddles again, having to defend in 1-on-2, and Sypical's going to come bail him out of a tight spot coming out of the opposite corner. Space Station Gaming going to hold on to the 1-goal lead. Reddles again caught in a bad spot, and look at him just snap react to Turbo coming out from the blind spot.
Oh, Turbo's going to try on this one again, but nothing. And now Atomic. Past another Turbo to drop it down. Missed. Looking at the ball, but not able to move on it. Here's Sypical advancing in the front line. Demolished, and the clear goes in Mist's way. Turbo pulls onto the backboard. Reddles just waits for it. Atomic's there, but again, Mist going to take his time moving up. The backboard just being hammered right now on Space Station. They don't even have anybody there to deal with it, but there's no follow-ups from EnVy. Here's Mist. He's the threat. Atomic now on the dual threat. Neither player makes contact. Turbo pulls with pressure. Looking for a double tap. Places it well, but the defense gets in the way. Space Station on the ropes, but holding on.
Gotta love EnVy's challenge game, the ability to continue to hold this pressure out of the midfield line. Sypical finally gonna work a little magic, beat 2 people, 1-on-1, Turbo in time.
Turbo never doubted for a moment. Leaves the ball for Atomic. Reddles confused on how to deal with it. Missed an Atomic, setting this one up. Turbo going to try and come in. Does he? No, he waits it and gets demolished. They'll strengthen the back line, but Atomic's trying to find a shot. They need a goal. Approaching the final minute. Reddles and Arsenal with control, trying to stall this out, and they bait it past Turbo. Mist will slow things down. Atomic's up for it as well. The game being played nearer the ceiling than the ground right now. A lovely clear down and into the upper 90. Reddles touches as good as a goal.
They caught Mist right here. He's still recovering, and Turbo and Atomic both committing in that midfield line without getting any forward momentum on that ball. Mist hasn't even touched the ground before he even can think about trying to defend the counterattack.
Also be able to turn on this one, and oh my goodness, Atomic. The server says no. 3-0 Space Station.
Kickoff for Space Station. I mean, that's the one that just goes perfectly. I mean, Sypical gets on the outside of that ball, just carries it with him past the hard follow-up from EnVy, and He beats the guy going to the opposite corner boost back towards the other way. Well played.
Missed. Now out of the corner with 47 seconds left, EnVy looking to have lost this game. They can find a goal immediately. Maybe there's a chance, but the passing plays have been on point. It's the accuracy that has been missing from EnVy. So many shots off the crossbar and wide. So many opportunities also where they have an uncontested backboard they're able to dump the ball onto, but there's no one there to take the shot afterwards. EnVy's offense with a few clicky gears, needing to get a little bit more oil in the system. Game 5 was not there. Space Station come roaring back.
It's like reading the exact same chapter in the book, but you changed all the names of the heroes and the antagonists. And that's exactly what happened in this game. I mean, a lot of great chances from EnVy and Space Station alike. EnVy is the one that hit the crossbar this game, though.
EnVy did hit the crossbar quite a few times. And I mean, it's not often that I feel like a team at this caliber, any team, given that much uncontested backboard space, isn't able to turn in a goal here. EnVy needing to be maybe a little bit more aggressive in the midfield, or maybe not be moving back as much of the boost. It might be a Space Station boost control situation. What do you think?
It's tough to say one way or the other what the exact problem is, but one thing, if there even is one, right? Because like we said, I think it was great pressure from EnVy, generating a lot of chances, and what more could you ask, right? If you've got the ball, and you're putting good shots on net, they're just not going in, well, it's quite simple then. You just have to fine-tune the accuracy, or if you're really feeling risky, if you feel comfortable trying to take advantage of that extra space that you've created on the backboard, because there's definitely not time in that particular game to bring the ball onto the floor and go for the demos, right? I mean, you're going to have to be taking on a lot more risk if you want to start going for demos off of backboard plays.
That's very true. Backboards and demos, difficult things to combine there. There's Atomic now. Into this corner with Typical now going to look to pass to Arsenal. Covered up by Mist. Space Station still having to play from behind as EnVy is on match point. But as we're into Game 6, a win here from Space Station sends us to Game 7.
Oh my gosh!
Why not? Reynolds is going to get it through the entire defense by himself.
I mean, he's playing support for Typical, and he basically dribbles Mist along with him up the pitch. And how does he get such a soft touch going that fast up the pitch to cut that out to the left-hand side and instantly into the top left corner?
Reynolds looking strong. One of the most grounded players in North America, and you saw his dribble there, but the response, Atomic is had enough.
Hello, Atomic. Mist definitely going to take advantage of Arsenal. What a pass. That's just an absolute dime, and Atomic delivered.
Brilliant passing plays. And EnVy's pass, again, the passes have been on point. It's just when they're slightly off, and that one on the money. Dead center of the goal. Turbo Pulse now looking for a double tap. Reynolds cleared out before. This time there was someone on the backboard. Typical looking for Arsenal now in the midfield. Their ball goes to the corner, looking for a second touch, but Atomic will take it away before he gets there. Reynolds now on the wall, keeping that away. Atomic down, back away. Turbo Pulse in the midfield keeps this one trapped in the orange. To the backboard, Typical will take it up on the sky and take control of the ball. 3:50 left to go in Game 6.
Yeah, Atomic trying to work that challenge magic again there in the midfield. It's, again, keeping EnVy in a decent position. Now it's just how do we create those scoring chances. Finally, though, Mist really not able to make good contact with the ball, and here comes the battle for possession.
Turbo Pulse aloft. Mist is up for this and puts it back down towards the goal. Gets a demolition onto Reynolds' too, opening up a little bit of space here. Atomic now got two players in front of him. The third player will spawn in the corner. Reynolds making that one very cramped. It's Mist on the wall. Arsenal's got a lot of space. Typical looking for goalies. Turbo Pulse backs up, dodges it, and then challenges Reynolds. This one will bounce off the ceiling and back to Atomic. Reverse Goomba stomped into the air and off to the corner. Typical with an open net, puts it back into the box. Mist will give it to Atomic. Well handled as EnVy gets this one out of their half and back to the SSG back there.
Well played indeed. And, Typical just able to beat that one. And how about the defense from Mist? But that bump from Space Station, man, it's both teams making all the right moves and all the right counter thrusts in just the right place.
Turbo Pulse places this one high. Typical will have some time with this ball. Chooses to just put it in the corner and miss. Will counter it back. This one goes past Typical, so Arsenal and Reddles needing to retreat to regain control. Soft touch from Reddles, a demolition though in the goal. Turbo Pulse has gotten it across. Typical has to dive for it and covers up the opening. Now back to Mist in front. Reddles out to Typical. Turbo Pulse is already up for the block. What a play. Back to Mist on the corner looking for the clear.
Ooh, some space here for EnVy finally. Now it's all down to execution.
They've tied up the game. Still need one more goal for the win. Atomic chasing this one down, gets a dunk, but Mist was up with him as well. Very loose ball now, as Turbo Pulse is going to be the only player grounded on his side of the pitch. Gets it through the midfield. Now here's Atomic. Maybe looking for Turbo Pulse on the retreat. Turbo Pulse gets in Atomic's way. They get tangled up on top of each other. Now Mist is going to have to play retreating defense by Atomic and Turbo. Time to get back.
It's funny, Turbo is trying to stay out of Atomic's way categorically. It's just that bounce took Atomic right through Turbo's path. It just squandered the ability to try and hold on to it. Nice challenge from Atomic over Reddle's shoulder. Throwing off again another Space Station counterattack. I don't think we've seen Space Station really have control of the ball and put a shot on target in maybe a minute or so now.
It's been a very neutral game. As we approach the final minute of Game 6, EnVy sharking for that one final goal. And they have spent so much time in enemy territory. Space Station's clears just barely not enough as Turbo got that one dangerous, nearly forcing an own goal. As Mist out to Atomic here. This one in the corner. Mist has time. He takes the shot, and Arsenal's got a block. Turbo Pulse was looking at it. He's airborne for it, feathering the boost. Flip reset, maybe. Gets a block on Reddles. Atomic can get one more chance here. Back in front. Mist with all the world, but Reddles covers him up from behind. 30 seconds left, and Space Station keeps the game tied.
Oh, it's the floater for Arsenal, but he's too far back with no boost. Turbo misses. That could be disastrous.
Oh, Mist misses as well. Arsenal there. Oh, the defender's frozen. They just stared at him like a deer in the headlights, and they tripped. 17 seconds left. Space Station threatening Game 7.
Well, you gotta jump at it. I mean, you see Turbo miss the double tap. You see Space Station coming. Arsenal gets it off the wall, and Atomic misses. Of course you're gonna jump as soon as Arsenal gets back in command of the ball. You're thinking he's gonna rip one into the top of the net somewhere, but no. Just held onto it and said, here, beat yourself.
Mist and Atomic have been the passing duo. Can they do it again? 7 seconds left, or we're going to Game 7. 4, 3 is Turbo. Gets it to Mist. Onto the backboard. Reynolds, it's behind him. It's across the box. Turbo tries to reach for it, but Atomic had hung back. Space Station take Game 6 in the waning moments. We go to Game 7.
I don't want to change anything. I think both teams are playing a great game. There's no
Everybody
need.
ready up. Let's go.
Yeah, ready up, move on. I think they're both playing excellently. It really did just come down to one mistake and one fantastic play from Reynolds. That initial goal through traffic, such a finesse and beautiful display of control from him to score that. First one was just sublime.
Well, they will not all ready up immediately. Reddles is taking his time and saying, hey, we want to talk about this. Because I think the Space Station knows. They saw the passes like this from Atomic. They understand they leave a passing lane open with Atomic on the shooting end. Things are dangerous. And at that moment there, like, while yes, they were able to freeze the defense, it was all enabled by 2 whiffs there from EnVy. And they know that it's not going to be often that they're going to get 2 whiffs out of EnVy. So they can't, that cannot be the battle plan going forward. And Space Station taking this very seriously, not wanting to sleep on their opponents. Reddles is a lot of trash talk online, but you know he respects the crap out of this team, and he wants to do his best to put them in the dirt.
And the best part is Reynolds is absolutely backing up the trash talk so far in this regional, no doubt. Like we said earlier, he's been an absolute monster on the pitch. No questions asked about that one. And this is not one you can take lightly because, yes, he does talk a lot of trash, but Space Station's playing an excellent game, and they still were under a pretty significant amount of pressure from EnVy for a good portion of that Game 6. Space Station should be weary.
They have to think about this one hard. They know EnVy is not going anywhere, and they have fallen for the trap card of taking Turbo to Champions Field. So how does this one work out? Space Station did take down EnVy in their last RLCS matchup. EnVy looking for revenge now. It's Reynolds to the sky. And what a difficult matchup between these teams. The thing they cannot be thinking about is that NRG is waiting for them. This is not the final.
Oh, yeah.
Semi-final matchup. They got a whole nother best of 7 against a now well-rested NRG roster to play. That's the prize for winning this game.
Yeah, don't get ahead of yourself. Worry about this, remaining 4 minutes and then think about NRG.
Oh. Typical to the outside, Turbo Pulse to try and close on this one as Arsenal will get the demolition onto him, but not before the ball goes to his corner, and Mist will get one challenge. Reynolds just takes the chip to the outside, and Atomic gives Typical some time to take control of this one, and he gets bumped off the ball. He's got a boost, didn't feel brave tackling there, as it would have been a long trip back, but now Mist, with all the boost in the world, gets it over one, towards the goal, gets a demolition on a Typical as well. Atomic, can he pass the Turbo? Back in front of the box, Arsenal, who got away from it, manages to get away again and get the block.
Real nice play from Arsenal. I think he was the one that got demoed initially, and Respawn came across the box and threw a wrench in that EnVy transition.
Atomic with a neutral challenge, missed across 2. Reynolds is going to have to defend this, and he sends it towards Turbo. Turbo slow to respond, and Arsenal will take control, but no, look at Atomic, cover him up. Turbo in the midfield, losing the challenge, now Missed. Gonna try and lead a flip reset, doesn't find it, and they'll just have to settle for a neutral 50-50 to the side.
First one to it, though. That means, again, EnVy the ones coming out generally on top of the possession game at the midfield line. It's not manifesting in shots on target or a buildup of pressure, because Spacestation are playing quite well in that regard, but keeping Spacestation off the ball and off the offensive half, as far as I'm concerned, you're playing a solid game plan.
You just hold on to the ball yourself, keep them in the clear department. Do okay as we approach halftime. Here's Reynolds, though, through 2. It's up to Turbo. Wins the challenge again. Arsenal off the wall. He's got Mist in front of him to challenge him, and he gets the second touch on him, but Atomic over the top of him. So many defenders to work through. Neither team on the scoreboard in a very close and hotly contested Game 7. Sypical going to go on this one as Arsenal gets a bump on Atomic. He manages to dodge the bump and gets a save. What a play. Atomic keeping us scoreless.
It's always impressive to see people fight for saves and clears in such hotly contested areas when Space Station's bearing down on you like that. Huge testament to how well EnVy has played all series long.
Missed and try. Go for the slow play on the wall. Turbo gets a challenge out of Sypical, and then a back pass to Atomic. Sypical's kind of caught in the air. Atomic will push it through him. It's up to Arsenal on the back line here, and he dismounts, gets out of the goal quickly. But here's Turbo looking for Mist. Back to Turbo, bounces off. Sypical doesn't reach it, and Turbo commits, hoping for the whiff, and he pays off.
Well played, Turbo. You know you have the leeway to commit for that one, especially with that touch from Mist. I mean, that one was disgusting. I want to see if he actually hit power slide to whip the car around or something, because it just glanced off that top of the car.
What a back and forth.
Oh,
the demolition, though! Atomic makes the save! You're kidding me! Holy cow! Back across, and Mist will push it away. I cannot believe this is not a tie game right now.
Oh, second chance, Reynolds. Oh, he knew exactly what he was going for, but that was such a tight angle to even try and go for. Pass to Sypical, met by Mist. Well defended again. Free floater, nobody jumps for it, so Turbo's forced to jump up and delay the play for Space Station.
And Space Station finally finding some passing lanes here and connecting beautifully. Arsenal now up. Mist to the outside. Reynolds is there. He got Turbo Pulse in. He's going to try and hold on to this, but Mist is coming in to take him off of him. Gets it off of him on like a dunk to put it into his own counter or in corner. 1 minute remaining here. Space Station trailing again. Is this finally the one that is Turbo? Oh my, the defense wasn't there. 2-0 EnVy.
Catching it so heavy here, Arsenal. Oh, it's because he kind of took it up the wall. He wasn't positive how much time he had, I don't think, so he started driving up the wall to meet somebody, and then at that point, there was no time to alter his positioning and catch the ball, so he ends up catching it so heavy. Drives it straight to Turbo. Atomic is going to not get number 3. Reynolds is in time, but 2 may still be plenty with how much time is on the clock.
Oh, the touches off a kickoff. That was insane. I'm actually surprised Atomic couldn't get enough speed. He had to side flip instead of front flip, and that made all the difference with the way he had landed. But 30 seconds left. Reynolds and company need a score on this drive. Mist going to try and counter them. They keep it in the blue. Atomic's there, and Typical couldn't find a bumper. Atomic now with the dribble. Pass to 15 seconds left. The pass to Typical, but Turbo's there. Arsenal now with 10 seconds left. They need a goal in the next 2 touches. Atomic will put it over the roof. Arsenal tries, but no. Reynolds is already out. Wow. He can't deal with the pressure. He has completely left the lobby. EnVy tilt Space Station out of their minds on their way to the finals.
What a series from EnVy. I mean, it was such a pleasure to watch them manage a challenge game and hold off counterattack after counterattack from Space Station Gaming. I mean, every other team has just crumbled before them, and EnVy locked tight, no chance.
Wow. So and it's Chiefs. It's Game 7. It's Champions Field.
We forgot.
What do we think was going to happen? Turbo scores all the goals and has them leads his team in shots as well. But the 4 saves from Atomic actually takes the MVP in game. And I still am thinking about that one where they got the demolition onto Mist and he just go rocket straight up for the save. Insane play. Atomic was lights out. MVP of the series, absolutely for EnVy.
Yeah, everybody on EnVy at individual moments had a standout performance one way or the other. And now Wave, they can start thinking about NRG. And we get, what is it? So it's a rehash of one of the grand finals we've had. So I'm looking forward to it.
It's a classic here. NRG versus EnVy. Yes, they don't get much of a reward there for winning that Game 7. They go right back to the grinder here. What a grand finals we've got lined up for you guys. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll crown a champion.